Hello, hello. So there's one person on here. What's up? How's it going? I am switching stuff around. I'm just gonna wait. Whoa. Kind of went into the wrong thing for a second. I'm just gonna wait for a couple more guys to join in. Just don't be shy, you guys. Keep everything. Just keep chatting and stuff. I'll be starting the actual music pretty soon. What's up, Federico? I gotta start talking and answering. I'm thinking this is more like just the chat than anything else. So it's been a while since I've done an actual live, so I'm a little out of touch. Isra, Kevin, ¿qué es la que hay, Federico? What's up, Evan? Thanks, man. Now you'll get to listen to the whole thing. Everything should come out, go live tomorrow everywhere. You know, Spotify, pretty much everywhere. Every single like streaming service, iTunes, all that good stuff. It should be out by tomorrow. Wait, what's going on? Whoa, what's going on? Oh, there we go. Kind of freaked out because I got a warning here from YouTube, but it was more about some image. I think it was the internet connection. All right. Kevin. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing the songs little by little. Let me know if the audio is okay. I'm going to start obviously with the science fair, and I'm going to start going down just the list, same order as the songs are on the album. And I'll be around. Like, I'm going to stick afterwards. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about what each of the songs, how each of the songs came along. I'll talk a little bit about like the process of writing everything, the process of recording anything, and if you guys have any questions that you want to ask, don't be shy, just ask away. So here, yeah, this is the set list for you guys that haven't gotten the physical or the digital version of the album. Yeah, 7 songs. You've got the Science Fair, you've got Eat a Mess, Nostalgia, For Little Paws, Transmutation, Force What You Were, and Sublimation. So yeah, I think we're about ready to start going. Yeah, I'm just gonna start playing the songs. Whoa, what am I doing? I'm clicking stuff that I'm not supposed to be clicking. The behind the scenes video was very interesting. Me and my hundreds of pedals were so jealous of the simplicity and time. Thank you so much, man. Thanks a ton. I'm actually just now getting to, I mean, I already have a bunch of other songs. Like between yesterday and today, I started getting ideas of maybe I should start filming some B-roll of the actual writing process, because I'm already writing stuff. I don't know if for a new album or singles or EP or whatever. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna be around here. I'm gonna start playing songs very, very soon. What do you guys think? Should I like bail and leave the music on with this lovely background, or should I just stick on the screen while the music is playing and look kind of like awkward while I'm not saying anything as the music plays? Let me know what you guys think. And of course, if you have any questions, anything, we're set to go. Okay. Bas, ¿qué está pasando? Gracias por estar por ahí. All right, I'm gonna start things off with the science fair, and I'm gonna shut up and let the music talk for itself. stare. I'm gonna stare at the screen. Hey, hey. Let me know if the audio is okay. If it's too low or high or whatever. Just kidding. Do that. I don't know what the interesting parts are. If you have any questions about any sections, I don't know if you can hear me right now, but if you have any questions about any sections, just let me know. Sebastián. Sube el mic. Déjame ver. Mira a ver si se escucha un poquito mejor. All right, so that was the science fair. Let me bring it down. Okay, so like if you have any questions about the songs, like how they were written, all that stuff, all that goodness. Let me start getting into the comments for a second. This part reminds me of a catatonia chord progression. That's trippy. Igualito como yo la toco, Kevin. Yeah, like guys, Kevin is actually learning the science fair, so I can't wait to see that video of you playing it, man. You gotta upload it. Israel. Este disco es totalmente moderno y una super representación del prog metal de este tiempo. El trabajo es increíble. Hacho, mil gracias, Isra. Te espero verte esta semana. Evan Williams, Nick Johnston, goodness, this could have been on us. Definitely, there's a lot. I was totally listening to a lot of Nick Johnston when I wrote this out. I actually wrote this song about 3 years ago, 2018, 2017. It was around the time of the hurricane. Like, there's 3 of the songs in the album were written out for around the time of the the hurricane. So it was Force Majeure, which is actually about the hurricane, the science fair, and what's the other one? I think this it might be just the two. Yeah, the science fair and Force Majeure were both written out around the time of the hurricane. Science fair, just to be honest, like the actual name of the tune came up just because I actually wrote out the stuff, the music, and it sounded kind of sciencey, and I just decided to put the science fair on. Like there's a lot, like with the different songs, there's a lot of different things that came up around like why the song is named such and such or like the muse behind each song. This one I was just like, to be honest, I was playing around with harmonic major, and I decided to switch between an F major 7 arpeggio and an F major 7 sharp 5 arpeggio. The I actually wrote out a different melody. Like for the main melody of the science fair, I actually wrote out completely different melody. And the actual main melody that I wrote out first is now a backing guitar. And then I wrote out this thing, the actual melody of the song. But yeah, anyways, let's get on to the second song, to Eton Mess. Here we go. Oh, what means Eton Mess? Eton's Mess is actually a dessert. So it's like cream. It's like whipped cream with strawberries, and it's got like more whipped cream and merengue. I don't know how to say it. But yeah, it's actually a dessert. But since the song is a little bit of a mess, and the name of the dessert says mess in it, so I just wanted to put a little bit of everything in there. And with the science fair, yeah, harmonic major has such a great sound. So yeah, the actual beginning of the song, like when I was writing it out, I was thinking harmonic major, but I ended up abandoning the harmonic major train of thought along the way. So I just kind of moved and did a couple different things. I think of whole tone scale. Yeah, same thing. It's because of the major third and sharp 5. I think, I mean, I'm in the same realm. Like anything augmented to me sounds kind of sciencey. So that's why I went with science fair. Anyways, let's go to Eton Mess now. And let me get the microphone down. There we go. All right, so we're back. So, are those bells from Labs? I think so. I think so. I think that's the BBC Orchestra one. I think most of the bells I did on the pretty much the whole album was like the BBC Orchestra plugin from Labs, from Spitfire Labs. By the way, anyone out there, if you're making music, Spitfire Labs, then everything's free. It's crazy good stuff. That's my favorite song from the album. Thank you, Sebastian. Crazy fluid legato. Thanks a lot, you guys. One definitely takes a Kiko style heavy Latin fusion song and brings it to strange. Yeah, I definitely like Kiko a bunch. There's a bunch of different, like, you can sort of tell, grab a bunch of the influences behind some of the tunes in the album. Like, to be honest, Eton Mess was me trying to get something to sound sort of ish to like Virgil Donati things, but it got completely it went in a different direction along the way. It totally changed midway through the song, but yeah, it's the one with the craziest amount of riffs. It's probably the hardest tune to play if you don't already know it. I mean, I already know it, so for me, like, the ones that are the hardest to play are the ones I can't remember how to play. But yeah, in terms of actual, like, difficulty, I think that one's probably the worst one, the hardest one. Okay, so I'm gonna go into Nostalgia. That's a like full-on Joe Satriani type legato type of thing. Oh, wait a minute, I just noticed I have something. I did something wrong here in the. Let me see if I can fix it. It's something wrong in the settings, but I think we're good. Okay, so let's go on to Nostalgia, the next song in the set list. So we already went through the Science Fair, already went through Eton Mess. Time to hit play. Again, if you guys have any questions, anyways, I'm gonna do like a normal question and answer like I always do with lives after playing the whole album. So yeah, nothing, just don't be shy, just write out. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up and hit play. That was the cookie. There it was again. What's up, Brent? I'm gonna go through the comments really quick. First things first. Yeah, you got it, Kevin. That's definitely a cookie. Yeah, like I when I got the first rough mix drafts from Simon while I was working on, yeah, like he was just sending and stuff. I only had one comment, and that was, I need to get that cookie higher. I went through a crazy rant, not a rant, but I went through a whole like thing. I even sent pictures of cookies like this, and yeah, I want this little sound effect that I added in a little bit louder in the mix, and I explained why. Like that's the sound of the actual like cookie and everything. But yeah, like I got super excited. So that was like, I only had like 2 comments in the whole album. Like everything else was perfect. And the cookie was one of them. What's up, Brent? Again. Amazing ability, switching styles. Sounds like different guitar players, of course. How she thinks. Thanks a ton, Evan. Bass, plenty vibes too. Yeah, man. There's a lot of, like, if I had to mention like specific influences, especially for the album, there's a lot of, like, there's a little bit of the Holdsworth stuff. They're still in there. Like, I haven't gone Holdsworth crazy in a bunch of years now. But there's, like, especially for the solo, and no, you know what? I thought about doing a solo with the Holdsworth flow for Eat and Mess, and then I just went, nah, screw it, just do your thing. But yeah, there's definitely still some Holdsworthy stuff going in my playing. Definitely some Plenty stuff. Plenty I thought about in terms of the orchestration. I thought about David Maximicic as well for orchestration and certain arrangement styles. Definitely some Nick Johnson in there. Definitely some Tigran Hamasyan in there. Virgil Donati as well. Yeah, a little bit of everything. And even some, like, the whole Joe Satriani influence with the tapping, that was totally not even, that was not intended at all. That just, it came out. It's just what it came out. I haven't played that whole tappy style since I was a teenager, and it just came out for some reason while writing out that song. Let me see. That's my favorite song from, yeah. I'm glad you like it, Isra. By the way, this is Israel Romero. He's actually the guy playing the first solo on Eton Mass. Get those sliders out. Yeah. Favorito del album. Awesome. That's good to hear. Got 2 nostalgia fans out there. Dude, my favorite song is next. Ooh, For a Little Pause. I should get Kitty for a little pause. I have no clue where she is. She already ate. If she hadn't eaten, she'd be totally all over the place right now. 1 years ago, you're a... Oh. All right. So next one is For a Little Pause. I think there's not a whole lot you can say about, like, the name says everything about the song. It is what it is. It's For a Little Pause. It's about Kitty, I guess. So, like, with For a Little Pause, I came up with the main melody parts. And the chord progression. And then when I was actually doing the arranging for the intro part, I was, like, sitting at home one day, like, late at night. I was all by myself, and then Kitty was just lying here on the desk, and I was like, I was super grateful that she was just, like, there hanging out. And yeah, decided to make it an ode to Kitty. All right, so I'm gonna put on the what I call the audio page, which is this guy, and I'm gonna turn the mic off with this one because I'm gonna try to find Kitty. That way, by the end of the song, I'll be back with Kitty. So I'm gonna play For a Little Pause next, and here we go. feels like I'm at a radio station. I just need the special sound effects. Okay, let's go through the comments real quickly. Hey, I did what you guys wanted. I'm sitting here awkwardly staring at the screen and just moving around. Okay, so otra que toco igualita que liga. Yeah, Kevin is also playing For a Little Pause. The cat is so friendly. I remember when Kitty tried to sweep scratch you in a live stream. Yeah, she does that. She definitely does that. Yeah, she gets antsy quickly. This song is very Cleveland autumn to me. That's awesome. That's awesome. I've never been to Cleveland. It'd be awesome to go there. DCMX Comics, hermoso, suena increíble, master. Mil gracias, mil gracias. Great sense of melodic direction on this, brother. Thanks a ton, man. Juice, like we're spending big money on gear, and Juan is doing this with software. It's amazing. Thank you, Evan. The special effects. Well, I mean, there's a ton. You can find a lot of, like the Spitfire Labs. It's insane. Like you can find everything on there. Like for the album, I used my Fractal, so that's technically not software for the guitars. But then the drums are Get Good Drums. And then let me switch this guy. Yeah, the screen. Get Good Drums on the drums. The bass is actual bass player, so it's Sergio Quintero and Eli Marcus on bass. So Sergio did pretty much the whole album. Eli did Eton Mess. Let's see what else we have down here. And of course, yeah, like all the orchestral arranging, like the synths, all that stuff. A lot of the synths, like to be honest, are just Logic stuff. I think the next song is a perfect representation of that. Like most of the effects in the next song, Transmutation, are all Logic stock plugins, like the stock synth stuff from Logic. So that was pretty trippy. Like up to for a while there, I kind of wanted to do the whole album with stock Logic stuff. But then, yeah, no, I'm glad I didn't do it because it sounds way better with the Spitfire Lab stuff and with the actual guitar stuff, like the Fractal and some amps. Because I know some of the songs, I just sent all the DI stuff to Simon and he reamped some of the guitar tones. What key is For a Little Pause in G minor? So For a Little Pause is in G minor. All right, so let's go on to Transmutation. So for Transmutation, the main thing behind Transmutation, like the main riff, I actually wrote it out as an exercise, as a mini practice etude with an exercise I saw Thomas Griggs doing on Instagram. I think he calls it the 9-1 or the 2-1 triad, and he does it with spread triads. So all it is, you play a normal triad, but anytime you're going to play the 1, you anticipate it with a 2. So you technically, if you're doing 1-3-5, it's always going to be 2-1-3-5. If it's 5-1-3, it's going to be 5-2-1-3. If it's 3-5-1, it's going to be 3-5-2-1. So always anticipate the 1 with the 2. So I kind of started with that. I applied it over a very, very common chord progression. And then I just ended up coming with the main riff. So here we go, Transmutation. Oh, and there's some cool, like, what do you call it? Like there's some sound effects at the end, like birds and stuff. So that's just me walking around with my phone in my dad's yard, just picking up whatever I could. And then I sat down, I grabbed my favorite parts. And that's it. All right, let's go into Transmutation. Let's do this. Te saluda Gabriel. Just got a message from Kevin and the crew. I don't know if you guys can see it all that well or if it's... There it is. Ah, it gets blurry every time. No. Combo de Patreon encendido. That's a tribute. Alright, so that's the end of Transmutation. I got all the guys from Patreon talking. I should have been paying attention to the phone. Whoa! Very nice. I'm looking at one of the guys from Patreon keep sending me pics. This is so awesome. All right, so yes, so Transmutation. What's next? Now we have force majeure, and we have a situation because Kitty is. Hold on, let's see the break for the bird was. Oh, yeah, Kitty's resting on top of the mouse, so I got a little bit of a situation here. Let me see if I can move to the next screen. Here we go. Okay, so now we have force majeure. So force majeure. The whole story behind force majeure. So force majeure, this is full on Google information. I got the name for force majeure. This is a song about Hurricane Maria. It's pretty much what it is. And force majeure is like the legal term for when something that's like a big nature, like event from nature kind of puts a halt to everything. to the whole like legal process or whatever. So obviously I got that from Google because I'm not like a law expert or anything like of the sort. Not even close. So yeah, I wanted something that wasn't super related to the hurricane, but that was semi-related. That's why you can hear like a tree falling, you can hear water and all that crazy stuff, just because it's all about the hurricane. I actually wrote the like one of the main sections of the tune on the hurricane, and now the whole story behind the tree is I used to live with my dad back then, and I was just sitting, just playing guitar on my bed. Um, um, and around 8:30 in the morning, like exactly like an act of God. That's it, Kevin. Um, so around like 8:30 in the morning, like we were surrounded by trees. We had like four mango trees, and around 8:39 in the morning, like it had barely started to rain, and one of the mango trees just bam goes down. I'm like, oh damn! Like if it would have struck the house, I would probably not even be here. But yeah, like at that same moment, I was coming up with the riff for Force Majeure, and so here we go. All right. So that was Force, but you were just about getting to the end of the album. All right. As always, let's go back to the comment section. Remember, you said you didn't have consistent power for months. I was actually without power at that house about 6 to 7 months, no power at all. Like the other thing is another like two mango trees went down. The other one that went down was at the entrance of the house, so I couldn't really get out. We had to destroy a big part of the entrance, so that we could go through the side of the tree. So one of the trees at the entrance fell down on my neighbor's house, and it actually broke part of their ceiling. Like pieces of cement actually fell on my neighbor's head. Yeah, at the very like I'm glad nothing happened to him. Like actually nothing actually happened to him. Like he got a good bump, but it like didn't even bleed or anything. It's pretty much like a miracle that nothing actually happened to him. He did get a little bit of trauma though. Like I remember him telling me, like he used to wake up like at 2 or 3 in the morning, just like freaking out. There we go. Katie's getting aggressive. Yeah, just because I'm working the mouse. Okay, so let's keep moving along. Now we are in. Oh wait, no. After that first heavy, I grew hair again. Very ominous. Glad that tree didn't come down the house. Now we are in heavy Dream Theater territory. The keyboard adds such a great atmosphere to the album. Yeah, like I went full blown. Like I like the sound of acoustic piano. Metalhead blues, sick. Thanks, man. That ending is so sinister. Yeah, it's got the little bing, ding, ding, ding. Track is amazing. Fits the October mood. That's true. It's got a little bit of that October mood. I love the tune. Thanks, man. All right, so I'm gonna head off to the last track of the album. This is actually one of my favorites. I haven't heard it in a while. Like I haven't heard the actual thing in a while, like the actual album in a while. But especially this song. Like the other tunes, I've had to go back and check it out because of like practicing for videos and stuff. Like I do have like a couple official videos coming out and some playthroughs. So I'm actually gonna record. I'm gonna be taping a playthrough this up and coming next week, and I'm also going to be doing another official video soon. So I think it's October 17 when we get to recording. I got another message from Juan Augusto. Here we go. Saying hello. The guys from Patreon. That's so freaking cool. I hope you guys don't mind me sharing the pictures on here. Yeah, I totally didn't ask. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's go on to the last tune. Sublimation. Afterwards we can chat all you want. Just like my normal live streams. Okay, Sublimation, let's go. Wait. Here we go. Cheo, cheo. There we go. That's the whole album. So yeah, like anyone out there that just joined in, that was the last tune. But all the tunes are going up. I think at around like at the strike of midnight. So yeah, you can listen to them on anywhere. Like they're gonna be on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere that's streaming. Um, so yeah, totally check it out. Check them out on there. Um, Let me go on to the comments. Let me go back. Official tabs too. Ha ha ha. I'll buy a mace up. I gotta get those set. The backing tracks are coming out before the actual tabs. I don't have any tabs written out. Um, I barely remember how to play some of the tunes. Uh, but for sure, I gotta tab it out at some point, I think. Backing tracks should be out in the next up and coming weeks, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. I've got Kitty here destroying a marker. Cheo, que la que hay, saludo. This makes me remember Easter times. Yeah, man, like it's one of my favorite songs, just because it creates like first of all, there's no guitar on there, so that to me was trippy on its own. Like most of that tune actually came up in about like 2 hours. I just sat down one day and everything just popped up. It just went out. And it's actually one of my favorite tunes in the album. I hope to like I've been writing a lot more stuff in that sort of vein. Hopefully I get to do a bit more of that. It'd be cool to at some point do some like orchestral type album, like full on like movie stuff versus like with guitar stuff. But yeah, let's see what happens with that. Just showing this sounds like a movie soundtrack. Yeah, man, it'd be awesome to do like movie stuff. Like to be honest, like one of my favorite parts of writing is actually doing the orchestral arrangements. It's literally one of my favorite parts. Just I can just sit there, listen to whatever I have written out, and then parts just start popping up in my head. And it's like, oh, this might be interesting to add this, or it might be interesting to add this. And every single little detail, even like the orchestral percussion hits, like boom. Every 4 bars, a boom pops in. I love the little bit of the effect that it has. So it does take me quite a bit to actually do those arrangements, because I like to go into very little details. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite things. Oh no, it seems like an allergy is gonna come up soon. There's something sad about being a skater Juan, but being relatively unknown. The Raider isn't the right word because he isn't Raider at all. He should be touring with you. Man, I mean, thanks, but I mean, it is what it is. It's yeah. Hopefully, I can move stuff around, but I'm definitely grateful for what I am doing right now, because at this point, I am full on living from music and doing lessons and stuff. So, like, it's really is like I'm definitely lucky. That I get to do what I do for a living. Oh, I'm getting allergies. Also the intro to an HBO show. That might be interesting. Epic. Thanks, Evan. Some kind of Michael Nyman thing going on here. I haven't heard of Michael Nyman, so I'm gonna screenshot that and I'll use it. I'll Google them and get instructed. I don't know how anyone could remember music so complicated. I'm not the guy to answer that because I totally forget. I keep learning the I keep having to relearn the song so many times. At the very least, like I can remember the main idea of the songs, but like the details, especially with the solos, like I tend to forget the solos quite a bit. And the so yeah, like I don't know, like whenever I get to play these live, I'm still trying to decide if I want to do like improvised solos live or if I just want to do the stuff on the album. I'll be saying 2 minutes to midnight. This arrangement is so grand. If only you know. Thanks, man. I don't know how anyone. Oh yeah, I'll check this out on iTunes for sure. Sounds way more sophisticated than most musicians make the repetition with the guitar. Thanks, man. I mean that final one is full on no guitar, but the other ones are definitely a lot of guitar in there. I tried to not go too crazy or too complicated with it. I'm trying to make it more musical than technical, and more melodic than technical is probably a better word, not musical. But yeah. A ver si pronto hago lo mismo. Yeah, dude. Seguro que sí. Seguir moviendo la cosa. Amazing album. I'm buying it when I can. Thanks, man. Even shared the BGs out of it on Facebook. Oh, Evan shared the BGs. Great, Kevin. Glad we finally have a work to share and appreciate. To hear improved version of songs too. I'm also gonna do like the playthroughs. So I'll probably change up certain things about like the faster bits of the solos. I might change up like the end of Transmutation where it has 2 solos going off at the same time. Yeah, I'll probably. I'm still not sure. Again, I'm still not sure if I want to do exactly what I did in the album, or if I just want to improvise the fast stuff, the fast things. Especially for the Transmutation solo, where at the end it just sounds like a whole bunch of notes going off at the same time, so it doesn't really matter too much, like the little solo. I have been doing it for quite some time now. Oh, you should check out Michael Nyman here in his repertoire. 90s, did a lot of great movie work. Wow, that's awesome. I'll totally check him out. I'm definitely into a lot of orchestral stuff. Like, yeah, I gotta get into just studying it in general. One of my students sent me a ton of cool stuff to study, so I actually got like a lot of cool movie music. So yeah, I gotta sit down and actually study more. But yeah, like, oh, I don't think, okay, I don't think it's work. Well, by the end of Transmutation, again, it's just a bunch of crazy notes going on. So it's more of the actual effect of notes going by than the actual melody. But that's just like at the ending of the solo. It's your birthday? Not today. It's actually tomorrow. Like I did the release on. I set the release for October 10th just because it's the yeah, because of the birthday. And play what you feel for live shows. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, for the live shows, again, I still don't know. I think I'll probably do the yeah, I'll probably try to do the actual solos. I'm not great at playing specific like things the same way, especially with the fast stuff. I'm more of a improvised guy, so I'll probably try to do the actual solos on the album and then end up butchering it and then midway through abandoning it and just doing an improvised solo. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm still a bit of a ways away from doing the tunes live. I don't even have a band at this point. Um, I was planning on doing a trio setting, but that's more for like fusion stuff, so I can start gigging around. It's still gonna be some original tunes on there. They're not on the album though. So like for the album stuff, I have no clue as to how I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna have to get some musicians, and 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 some help with the programming things. Yeah, I gotta do the get all those tracks going so I can use them live. So yeah, I gotta, meh. Let's see what happens. Like, yeah, hopefully I can go out and play these songs. But I guess like with COVID and stuff, it's not like I'm really gonna be playing anytime soon. So yeah, like whatever. Let's see what happens with that. When the time comes, it comes. Kitty listening to for a little. Yeah, she's hanging around. So yeah. Okay, so what do you guys want to do now? Like, if you wanna, like, if you do, you want to go over one of the songs again? Let me know. Tour. Nah, definitely not yet. That's actually my brother. I just get back to the recording. You're absolutely killing those solos. Look out, Ton. So like, thanks a ton, man. So yeah, like, what do you guys want to do? Like, I can jam, or at least I think I can jam with the setup I have on here, and answer questions. Like, if you guys go on tour, that would be awesome. Like, we were thinking about doing some stuff. I owe a performance to a studio in Texas. I was supposed to go on, I think it was in June or July, and the plan was like the wrong sides are gonna go and do a live studio performance there. So we kind of thought out. I talked to the guys and I mentioned, well, maybe you can learn the songs and that way you can back me up. But we only had like a month or two to get ready. So, yeah, it didn't happen. But to be honest, that would be the perfect setup. Like if I could, if they could get the tunes, and I could get the tracks ready, that way it's pretty much the same band. You just switch up guitar parts, and that's it. So yeah, it'd definitely be awesome to go on tour with the wrong sides. That would be insane. And jam, yeah, I can totally get to jamming. Transmutation. You want to listen to Transmutation again? Getting a copy on iTunes tomorrow. Thanks, man. Alternatives, solo improvs over backing tracks. Oh, wait a minute. Now that you mention it, last time I jammed on here, I actually got a copyright claim. Yeah, I kind of don't want to go on there. Like, I'll leave the jamming with backing tracks for another live session, actually. I can play some stuff, though. Like, if you have any questions, if you like to... Like, with Kevin, he's learning some of the tunes. So if you have any questions about certain parts, and if I can remember certain parts, then we can totally go over those. You show us how you use that formula in a solo, anticipation of the two before the one. What do you mean, what formula? I'm sorry, I probably there's probably a little bit of a lag on here, so I don't know. Like what you're talking about. Show us how you use that formula as anticipation of the two before the one. What do you mean? Yeah, I'll as soon as I understand the question, I'll try to do my best to answer it. Let me plug in the guitar and let me know if you can hear it and if everything's going fine. Oh. Seems like it's kind of low in volume. Can you hear the guitar? Oh, gotcha. The song where you substitute. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so I'll just go over the actual bits of the song. So yeah, they're talking about transmutation and the whole concept with the Thomas Griggs thing. So you just play a triad, a spread triad, and you anticipate each one with a 2. So again, if you're doing 1 3 5, you're gonna do 2 1 3 5. So for example, here we have D, A, F. So this is your spread triad. So what you're gonna do is you're going to anticipate the 1 with a 2. That already kind of sounds like transmutation. There's the main riff for transmutation. That's the main riff. So again, it's always anticipating the 2 before the 1. The whole chord progression for transmutation, nothing special there. Your super common chord progression. It just sounds cool when you apply that whole concept, that 2-1 triad concept. So 2, 1, and then just go through the triad. In this case, it's going 2 1 5 3. And then same thing here. So apparently the second chord is actually F. So that might be it. To displace the rhythm a little in a cool way. So here we have this D minor, F major. So actually no. Okay, yeah, and then here we have another D minor. So it's like this is the 1, this is the 3, this is the 5. So 5, 3, 2, 1. Always anticipating the oh god, the 1. The allergies are not letting me think. And it's not like it's not full blown just yet, but it's kind of bothering me. Yeah, so that's the main God, I can't get my words. That's the main like riff to transmutation. Actually, let me see. This might be interesting. I should do like a live concert someday. Let me see if I can close this down. And actually, I think I have the backing track to this on here. So, album 1, Sublimation, practice folder, transmutation, and no, this is the actual song. Wait. Oh no, but I don't have it on my tablets, or you're not gonna be able to listen to it. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, let me get back to the comments then. Hope that clears what I'm doing. Anticipation move seems to displace the rhythm a little in a cool way. Yeah, that's the other thing. You can play a little bit with the rhythm. Like the main riff used to be. And I just kind of moved the, like, I cut out certain sections, so leaving certain unplayed 16th notes. And then at the end, you can actually listen to how the riff was supposed to be played. And yeah, like, eventually it turns into a whole bunch of other stuff. But that's the main idea behind it. Let's see. With that I quit. Really has vibes from the new Kiko album, but different. Yeah. I mean, every comparison I make is. Oh no, man! I totally get it. No worries. It's like suspending the fun before making it normal. Something like that, yeah. Do you have a looper pedal? That could, oh, nice. Yeah, I do have a looper pedal on here. Let me see. That's actually the chord progression for Transmutation. It wasn't the one I played before, so. It's a miracle I can actually remember that. Okay, so. That's gonna be the new way of playing it. Okay. 1 I before E except after C. Wait, what? I before E except after C. Whoa. Okay, let me try to record this. There's still looper, and we go. Yeah, that little bit it changes. That 2 before 1 thing reminds me just a little something Steve Vai did on Live to Die and Hina. Always love that sound. I gotta check out those songs because I don't have like a clear memory of those tunes. I haven't listened to Vai in a while, so I think probably today's a good night to do that. Yeah, I'll just sit back a bit later and listen to some Vai. Current viewers. Okay, so I see a couple guys on here. Did everyone get a chance to listen to some of the tunes? I can repeat some of the tunes if you want. If not, I can keep going through different sections. Like the let me see if I can get an actual patch for nostalgia going. Where's the original patch I used? Like this. Gracias, Kevin. So this used to be the original patch for nostalgia, and then it got changed up in the whole mixing process. Let me see if I can actually remember the actual. Yeah, there it is. So it's like a. And the actual melody is like. Okay, that's it. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. Love that patch. I just put on XR M30 viewer. It kind of does the same thing. Yeah, man, this is a crazy patch. I wish I could share. Yeah, that's totally it's totally super influenced by Midnight by Satriani. Like I just haven't, like I learned that tune when I was a kid, and I haven't played anything like that ever since then. And then someday, like this whole tapping thing just came out. Kind of a shimmer octave delay reverb. That's exactly what it is. Con ese efecto. So let me see if I can I'll open up the patch. I wish I could do share screen and I would just go over the whole patch with you guys on over at the AX8. Actually, I think I could do screen sharing. Wait a minute. It's gonna look a little nuts. Back to the screen. That's a little. What's escucha? This was transcribed for a 4-piece ensemble. Whoa, that'd be interesting. Heck yeah, right? Yeah. No se escucha. ¿Qué no se escucha, Kevin? La guitarra. Oh no. Let me switch the effect back to what I normally use for these types of things. This is called the teaching patch. This is what I use in my lessons because it's got the looper. Oh no! Did you not hear the whole tapping section thing I was playing? If not, if it wasn't the if you heard the tapping thing, then that's what it's supposed to be shown. I never could find the specific effect I thought it was using, so that was weird. Cuando cambiaste al share, vamos a perder. Oh no. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's my bad, because that screen mirroring thing was not part. It's not really. Okay. Yeah, that bit right there, that section wasn't supposed to be used for today. So I really didn't have it set up. That's fine. I won't share the screen with you guys again. I'm not gonna share anymore. Now, yeah, it's just that bit is not really fixed up in OBS because I wasn't meant to use the screen mirroring thing. But yeah, anyways, that was it. Oh, Kitty's back. Kitty is back. She's gonna jump on top of the desk. Let me see if you can. Oh, there she goes. There she is. Is Kitty hanging out? Alright, so what do you guys want to talk about? Any random like theory questions? Any recording stuff? If not, let me see how much time I've been on here. Doesn't even say where is this thing? No. I swear, like they changed up the. Oh, here it is. 126. That's fine. We could do a little bit more. So yeah, like again, let's turn this into a normal, like your everyday jam type of thing. Like again, if you have any like questions on theory, sections of tunes, songs, whatever, let me know. You play much acoustic, and does it influence your electric playing? I don't play too much acoustic. The bits that I have played, I've learned a lot from it. Yeah, I wouldn't say that it influences my electric playing. Yeah, I don't play it enough for it to influence my electric playing. But I did play some acoustic a while ago, and it wasn't too long. It was just like for like 2 weeks or 3, and I just learned a lot about like specific acoustic type voicings that just plain old sound better, just more open. And so some of that stuff, it does translate really really well to the electric realm. But definitely, yeah, I definitely don't play acoustic like at all. I mean, I do, but not enough. Like I'm electric is definitely home. So yeah. Anyways, what are you personally studying? Okay, right now I'm studying I'm studying the songs because I'm gonna be recording the video for a little pause, and like most of the tune I can remember, especially the solo, like the solos I can't remember, and especially if it's like an official video, you gotta do the actual solo in the tune. So I'm working on For a Little Pause, and I'm also working on Transmutation. Shout out to JC Custom Guitars. Definitely shout out to JC Custom Guitars. I have no affiliation or anything with them, but they make amazing guitars. Israel Romero is affiliated with them. And Boss just got a brand new JC Custom guitar. It looks insane. I gotta try it out. But yeah, okay, back to personally studying. Aside from that, I'm working on a lot of legato also, just because I'm actually working on a course. So I'm practicing so that I can tape the course either next week or the week after that. So I'm getting, I'm working on my legato, so specific moves and specific licks and stuff. So yeah, look out for that. Maybe like in about 1 or 2 months down the road, it should be out. So, ton of work to get done. Most of everything is already written out, but I gotta practice. Let me see. Thanks for the answer. I was thinking of acoustic players who have special like John Gum, but I guess you weren't playing that stuff on acoustic. Oh yeah, John Gum is insane. Like I remember finding out about him, and I think it's Passion Flower, the name of his tune, where he's playing around with the tuners. Like for the longest time, I used to think, man, this guy's a beast. He remembers all the like specific spots where you gotta land with the tuning keys. And then I learned that it's got like some specific type of gears that I think it's used in country. No, it's like banjo tuners, banjo something. That they just stop at a certain point. So I never really knew how to do that. I never really knew that those things existed, and yeah, like when I learned about it, it was almost as if I learned like Santa Claus didn't exist. Oh my god. Let's see. Thanks for once you told me about legato patterns using multiple permutations. Any example? Banjo tuner. Yeah, those are that's the thing. So with with permutations, there's only one pattern that I'm working on at this point, and it's just the same one I tend to do, which So 1 2 3 1 3 2. No, 1 2 3 2 1 3 1 3 2. That's the main pattern. With in regards to permutations, but you could do anything. Like you could do, like you have 1 2 3 1 3 2 2 1 3 2 3 1 3 1 2 3 2 1. Those are all the 3-note permutations that you get. And yeah, like the trick is, like if you want to start combining them, because obviously you could do the same different types of permutations, like on each string. So like 1 3 2 on each string, or you could do 2 1 3, like those types of things. But if you want to make it a little bit more interesting, you can start mixing them up. You could do like 1 2 3 2 1 3, and then just alternate between those two. Or you could do like sets of 3, or you could do even a different permutation for each string. But yeah, like I just took it to like 3 strings and then just repeat the same type of permutations. Now the trick to getting those correctly is just to to make them a little bit easier. It's just to not begin on the same number, not begin on the same number on the next string as your at the number that you finished on. Horrible explanation, but I'll play it again. So, for example, if you're doing 1 2 3, you're finishing on 3. So the next string should not begin on 3, just because it's gonna be a hassle. Like, you could kind of make it work, but it's way easier if you don't do it in that way. So if you end on 3, try to start with 1 or 2 on the next, and etc. etc. That way you can kind of mix and match different permutations and get different patterns. And obviously you can apply these permutations to any scale, anything that's going on. That's about it. Let's keep moving. Let's see, permutations, banjo tuner, yeah. Any rituals or things you do before playing live? Warm up, I guess. Not a whole lot. Just warm up. It kind of depends on the gig, to be honest. If it's something that I haven't done before, I like to look at the tunes beforehand. If it's something where I really don't, like if I'm playing with a band that I've played a million times, I'll just I like, it's in there. I just trust that it's gonna come out. Like the playing's gonna be there. But yeah, definitely warm up. I like to stand on stage and get a feel for what it's going to feel like when I'm gonna play. So I like to just stand on stage and look around and kind of imagine that I'm playing before I am actually playing. But nothing too much more than that. I used to like to jump around and kind of psych myself up before a gig, but that was before, when I was younger, and I like to jump all over the place and jump on my knees and just tear my jeans apart and all that crazy stuff. I'm too old for that right now. I'm too old for that anymore. I don't have the energy. It's not. It almost feels like it's not worth it anymore. Plus, it definitely affected the playing. Like, it was a better show for sure. But it doesn't, like, when you're jumping around and doing all that crazy stuff, it definitely doesn't help with playing more technical things. And yeah, like by the end of the show, you just destroy everything. And you get hurt a lot easier if you're doing that stuff. Okay, let's see at Juan's speed. I once wrote them all out, but it's hard to know what works well together. Yeah, I mean, I did the same thing. Just write them all out and try to mix and match. Like, to be honest, you can just pick and choose like 2 or 3 moves, and then everything else you can kind of sort out. Oh, went out of focus there for a second. And then everything, because you don't have to master all of the permutations. Just grab what you prefer. Like, a lot of people obsess over learning every nook and cranny of every single thing, and that's cool. That's good for certain things. But with vocabulary, I think it almost helps not to learn everything in every position. And though that kind of sounds like it's not true, I mean, it's always better if you can learn everything. But for example, if you can learn 5 moves, if you've got 5 patterns and you know a different sequence for each of those patterns, it's better that than knowing one sequence over the whole thing. At least from an improvisational standpoint, it's going to sound a little bit more interesting than just doing the same thing over and over throughout the whole thing. But if you can learn 30 moves and learn them all over the place, that's even better. Okay, let's keep going. Like 6 note patterns that change every 2 strings. Yeah, exactly. Well, I see if they both end on 3, you have to awkwardly hybrid pick. If they both end on 3, it's not so much about the right hand. It's more about, let me see if I can find a pattern. If I'm here and the next note is here, then there's no way to jump. I mean, you can solve that by just switching up the fingering, but it definitely it gets more complicated. So I don't like to. Yeah, eventually I just sorted out that it's better to not do it that way, especially if you want to get it up to really high speeds. Yeah, the more cohesive the move is, the easier it's going to be to get it up to speed. Some things are going to be so crazy and weird and complicated that is getting them up to speed. It's just, it doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that. Are you having gas for any new piece of gear? I was just talking about this to one of my students. Like, at this point, well, first of all, I try not to look too much at new gear because I do feel like I need to spend my money a little bit wisely in terms of, like, right now, like, the gear I need is like in-ear monitors. I need a new chair, definitely, because this one's killing me, my back, my sciatica. Telling you, man, getting old. And a new desk. So that's the new gear I'm looking at, more than a new guitar. Like, I would like to want different guitars, but I feel like I don't need it at this point. Like, I've got enough guitars. In terms of pedals, I do like that new FM3 by Fractal, but like, in terms of stomp boxes, I'm playing with the Fractal now live, and I feel like I don't need anything else. And again, no affiliation to any of the brands. I have no sponsors or no anything, so I have no reason to be talking good or bad or anything about any company. But yeah, like right now, with the amount of guitars I have and the Fractal, I can pretty much cover anything. Like, I can get just about any amp and any effect on the Fractal. So like, the only one pedal that I was sort of thinking about was the Precision Drive, and it was more about the noise gate than anything else. I really, really, really love the response on the noise gate of the Precision Drive, but aside from that, I really feel like I don't need anything on like else than what I have already. So I try to not to look too much at gear. If it's a matter of wanting new guitars, there's a lot of cool looking guitars out there. Like, obviously, like Strandberg stuff, or like I really like this brand from Mexico called Minima guitars. They look insane. I haven't tried them out, partly because COVID killed NAMM last year. So if they go to NAMM, on the next NAMM, and if I go as well, I like to try them out. They look insane. They look amazing. If they play as beautifully as they look, and if they sound as beautiful as they look, then yeah, I might do something. But for now, I'm good. Okay, let's keep going. Saludos desde Argentina. ¿Algún tip para practicar arpegio en séptima? Okay, I'm gonna switch to Spanish for a second, so I can answer this question. So, Luca, espero que no te hayas ido. Creo que me escribiste la pregunta hace un tiempito. Realmente escoge, digo, y esto le aplica a casi todo, escoge bien los patrones que te vas a aprender. Una vez te aprendes un patrón, por ejemplo, déjame pegar la guitarra rapidito. Escoge bien los patrones que quieres. Por ejemplo, a mí me gusta mucho, si voy a hacer mayor séptima, a mí me gusta, lo voy a hacer desde re. Me gusta este. Me gusta ese para ese tipo de aplicación. Si es más rápida, ese tipo de patrón. Acá. Oh, no. Me gustan esos patrones. Una vez tienes un patrón, o sea, una vez tienes suficientes patrones para poder conectarlo y que te cubran el cuello entero, trabajar y conectar todos esos patrones. Por ejemplo, me voy a ir a re menor 7 ahora. Por ejemplo, puedes empezar ahí. Ahí cambia el próximo. Acá. Cambio de nuevo. Y sigues conectando por todos lados hasta que lo tengas pues todo. Una vez tienes eso, también practicar distintos arpegios desde la misma posición. Eso se va a prestar un poquito más para improvisar y para cambiar de acorde en el medio de todos los sweeps versus quedarte en el mismo arpegio todo el tiempo. Alright, espero que eso te ayude. How many live shows approximately have you played? At this point, like in general, like all throughout my whole life, if it's throughout my whole life, I really can't answer that because no clue. A ton. This year, just about nothing. Like, this is 2021. I mean, I don't know, like 5, 6 shows, maybe. I really have no clue at this point. I've done a couple, but not too much. I mean, with COVID and just in general, I haven't been playing too much ever since COVID. I've been focusing more on doing stuff from home. Before COVID, I wasn't playing too much at the beginning of COVID, but for a while there, I was playing just about weekly. So again, I have no clue. If it's like a general thing. I've been trying to learn how to use triad pairs recently. Any tips on how to best utilize them over rock style soloing? I've mainly learned them for jazz. It's all about figuring out the phrasing. Like, to be honest, like, that's the cool thing about concepts. You could apply any concept to anything, to really any genre or anything. Like with triad pairs, and this is something you should probably check out Frank and Bali for. Learn two specific triads, and you can move them around. Like, I'm not great at this. Like, I kind of suck at it. I only have 2 triads that I can get down well, and it's these 2, like C and D. Those are the only 2 I can get like that. The other ones I can't do to save my life. But yeah, like, if you have your normal, like you could definitely do those types of things with more of a rock type of approach. The other thing is, apply them to melodies. Like, if you apply them to melodies, you could apply them again to any style, because you could go, and already that, if I just apply distortion, this is going to be too much distortion. Wow, that's going to be loud. Wrong patch. Okay, so here. Wow, still too loud. Let me see if I can switch to a different patch. I didn't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's gonna That's got a boost. That's not supposed to be there because I ended up using that patch for a live show. Let me see if this one works. So you could still use it for like those types of more melodic approaches. It doesn't necessarily have to be fast stuff. Let's see. Wise advice reminds me of something Chris Buck said. Focusing on solving one string simple is sometimes better. For sure, for sure. Got enough guitars? Said no guitarist ever. True. Are you doing lessons still, but on Patreon, or have you been busy on working on the album? I haven't been doing lessons on YouTube. In general, I just wrote out 2 scripts for 2 lessons this week. So this is the YouTube video for this week. Next week, I'm going to be doing a lesson. So yeah, I just got, to be honest, I got a little burnt out. Lessons take so long to edit, and I was sick of editing. And to be honest, the other thing is, like, the actual jam videos have been moving more than the lessons. So that's another reason why I've been doing jam videos. I'm getting better results with a lot less work. So yeah, but I still got to do lessons. I got to do lessons because it's what the channel is about. It's about doing lessons. So yeah, this week I'm getting back to doing lessons. So expect a lesson either by next Friday or the Friday after that. It's all gonna depend on how fast I can get to editing the actual video. I have like 30 guitars, but they're all different types and configurations. Man, I wish I had a ton more guitars just because they're fun, and it's like a romantic type of thing. Just looking at gear and the way they look even affects the way you play. But yeah, like, at least for me at this point, I'm good with buying stuff. It's not as fun. It's definitely not as fun as looking at gear and keeping up with the Joneses. But yeah, but it's sort of the responsible thing, at least for now. At least for me, for now. Let's see. Somebody needs to sponsor Juan through the Signature Series West. It's not. Man, that'd be insane. I don't know if they would sell too much though. Strandberg are looking like my next guitar right now. Been salivating over Kevin Eckness' demo of them. Yeah, man, they're insane. They look beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I've tried them out a couple times. I don't know if the Endure neck is quite my thing. I could definitely see myself getting used to it if I try hard enough. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to have to try that hard. I don't know if trying that hard to like a feel of a neck is what you're supposed to do, or if the neck is just supposed to feel right from the beginning. So yeah, I guess I don't know. Let's see. Are you using any amp as a power amp for the XFX through the loop, or going straight to the board? I'm using my Katana, and I'm using it while what I'm doing is I'm plugging in the out of my X8 into the return of the Katana. So it's bypassing the preamp and it's going straight into the speaker. That's all I'm doing. And then depending on the gig, like the last show I did was a cover gig, and the Fractal went straight to the front of the house. But I still use the Katana as a monitor for myself, which surprised me. It totally surprised me that I could play a cover gig and just throw the Fractal up to the front. Thanks. Appreciate the thoughts on the triad pairs. That's helpful, and especially your honesty about how much you use them. Yeah, I mean, I use them on very random occasions. Like, I've started using them a little bit more if I'm playing bluesy stuff, just because you could do that flat 7-1 with 2 major triads. But yeah, I'm definitely more of a 7th type of arpeggio things, especially with the fast stuff. Like if I'm thinking more chord tones, I'll definitely use more triads. But again, I'll still use arpeggios. Okay, the jam videos are awesome. If only there were a tab underneath. You play so fast, it's hard to keep up. Actually, that might be something cool I can start doing. Maybe add certain lines from those. If I was as good as one, I would have 100 guitars. Type of guitar neck do you like? Fat or thin? Thick or wide? You play a Guthrie Govan? Is that your ideal guitar? Okay, so this is so the neck on this is the standard C Slim. That's my favorite type of neck. Just because again, probably more of this is the result of playing the same guitar for like 12 years, and not so much that it's perfect for my thing. It's just I got used to playing this guitar, so it's like the best one I can use for now. But yeah, and this is technically, I mean, it's modeled like the Guthrie guitar he used on those very old JT Civid videos. But this is actually not a Guthrie Govan model. This is a Sir Standard. I actually got this made around 2007. It's same woods. It's a basswood body, quilted maple top. It's maple neck on the back, rosewood board. I got this around 2009. I got it made around 2009. So rosewood was still an option back then. I don't know if it's an option again now. See, I'm all so out of touch. So yeah, like a C type, like a slim C, like a modern C type neck is definitely my favorite type of thing. Like some Strats, I grab some certain Strats and they feel like home at this point. But yeah, like I'm kind of married to this guitar to a certain point. I don't love the fact that this is my favorite type of neck and type of guitar just because they're so freaking expensive that I know there's a pretty big chance that I'll never buy another Sir again. Just because of it's so freaking expensive. I would love to. Like at a certain point in my life, the plan was to get a Sir, like a Sir model of each type, just to keep the same neck profile, just with a different sound. So a Sir Strat, a Sir Telly, a Sir Les Paul. But at this point, I already have Tellys. I already have a Strat, so I don't need them. Evan, for the jam videos, you can slow them down on the video settings. Really good advice. That would help you with seeing what Hunter's does. That's what I'm doing. That's killer. That's killer advice. That's what I do with when I'm transcribing anything. I always go take the speed down on YouTube. Like no shame in doing that at all. That's definitely the way to go. Is there any music that inspires you that might be unusual or surprises? I'm always interested to hear about musicians' outside influences. Nothing too weird. Right now, I'm actually right now and for the longest bit, I'm hooked on the soundtrack for The Theory of Everything. I'm getting an Alan Hines kick. I haven't listened to Alan Hines in a long time, but I'm getting super, like, I've been hooked on him for the last like 3 days. What else? I think that's about it for now. Oh, there's a couple bands like Don Bracco. I'm super hooked on them. I'm always like down with like pop rock type of bands like Goo Goo Dolls and Lifehouse and all that. That's like the obscure influences in my life. They're not really obscure, it's just something you might not expect. So a lot of like pop rocky type of influences. The Fray, what's another band in that type of style? Yeah, I can't think of anything else at this point. But yeah, those types of bands, I totally like those types of bands. What else? Like in the, yeah, always Tigran Hamasyan or Hamasayan. I don't know how how to say his last name. But yeah, right now, I'm super hooked on Alan Hines. Like for the last 3 or 4 days. También fumareo. What's a bad habit guitar players should avoid? Oh God. No clue. Not practicing enough, maybe. Jamming instead of practicing, maybe. That might be one. Though I'm not. I'm a fan of jamming, so. It's fun, but you don't get as good as results as if you do practice. Another one that I've been meaning to do a video, but I don't know if I should do a video, just because I don't know if it's a. Like I have nothing against this exercise, but I think it gets overused. So I think people tend to waste a little bit of time with this exercise, which is just the 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise. It's a good exercise to warm up. It's a good exercise if you're starting out on the instrument and still can't really pick all that well and can't fret all that well. But if you already have, if you can play, maybe use it just to warm up. But even there, I tend to prefer warming up with something that you're practicing but just don't know how to play all that well just yet. That way you have to play it slow anyways. But yeah, it also helps with warming up. Let's see, not stretching before practice. I actually don't stretch too much before practice. So that might be one. I definitely do warm up though. Like I learned the bad way that I have to warm up. Stretching, I tend to stretch generally, but it's more like a full body type stretch yoga type of deal. I'm getting back into that. Woo! I didn't do it for a while, and again, old man sciatica issues have gotten me back into the yoga world. But yeah, like definitely the 1, 2, 3, 4. Discourage that too because it's generally impractical unless you're playing. Yeah, so this exercise right here. I mean, it's a good exercise if you're just starting out, but I know way too many people that stick on the like that whole thing. Get this sound up. Like way too many people spend way too much time on that exercise. Just do it for like 5 minutes. If you really, really, really want to do it, just do it for like 5 minutes. But it's better to warm up with scales or arpeggios or some actual like material instead of that, because you're not gonna play that anywhere. Like the closest thing you might get to playing that might be some sort of like chromatic phrase a la Tom Quayle, like that type of thing. But really that doesn't happen way too often either. And if you do it too often, it's gonna start getting old as well. So it sounds cool if you only do it like once or twice every now and again. If you do it all the time, it starts getting old quickly. So yeah, just warm up with something that has a more of a practical application. Get the stress ball and the rotation exercise that you showed on your video. Yeah, I don't do the stress ball too much. I do go like this now with my hands. But definitely warm up. Like at least for me, warm-ups have been a complete game changer. Like ever since, it's warm-ups and rest. Like that's another thing. Like people don't think of guitar so much as exercise. And with exercise, you always want to get like a day of rest during the week. You don't want to be working out all 7 days a week. Definitely not a workout expert. But you definitely need a day of rest. Same thing with playing guitar. Like if you're going all out all the time, you're probably going to get injured at some point. So definitely knowing when to stop practicing, that's a big one for me. I used to be very terco. I don't know how to say that in English. Like be hard-headed and wanting to play something and just going over it and over it and over it in a bad way. Not in the training my hands slowly type of way, but in the trying to play it fast the first time I tried to do it. And definitely got hurt way more than I should have. And now I'm a lot more patient with practicing, and it's way better. I haven't really gotten hurt, like actually hurt, where I have to stop playing for a couple weeks in a while. And I don't even remember the last time I got hurt. Last time I got something remotely close was more like towards the shoulder. It had nothing to do with playing guitar. So yeah, with actual hand issues, I haven't gotten hurt in a long time. Now I can kind of, sort of tell, like if my hands are getting strained, I'll stop and I'll just not play for like 2 days, and I'll get back to it slowly. It's more about understanding your, like, knowing how to read your body. I have a variation on the 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise that is next level. Basic idea is all fingers remain clamped on the string, same time except for a brief moment they move to the next string. Yeah, all fingers remain clamped on the string at the same time except for the brief moment they. Is it this thing? I think I've seen stuff like that before. One time, like a spider. Yeah, I think I've seen those. What about listening to other genres? Definitely, like, listen to everything. Listen to everything. I definitely have my preferences, and I definitely hate on certain genres, like sometimes. But there is definitely something to listening to just about anything out there. And I learn about this and get humbled every single time I have a gig where there's certain songs that I don't like and I have to learn them. I usually learn something from those experiences. So it's always like a bump on the head. It's like, yep, see, you shouldn't have like underestimated the music. There's always something cool to learn, even if it's not even a guitar part, even something from the arranging or the production side. There's always something cool to learn from a specific tune. It's just finding out what that is. My camera all keeps going out of focus. There we go. But yeah, definitely learning from other genres, like and grabbing stuff from one genre and moving them up to the next. I found motivation for practicing by listening to other genres or other type of guitar players within the genres I like. Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's the same thing. I keep, like, at one point, I used to like melodic minor and the Holsworthy things a lot, and I used to like bluesy rock and roll types of things a lot, and like funky stuff as well. And I used to think that these different styles didn't mesh, they didn't go well together, until I started seeing people popping up, mixing everything together, and I just went like, you know what? It's not that the styles don't mesh together. It was just I had a limited vision of what was possible and not. So now I spend a lot of time just being very aware of the things I like and trying to look for ways to mesh things that would probably not work otherwise. So it's not so much about what works with what, it's about how you can get those things to work together. Do you have an interest in more genres of music than the ones you specialize in? In general terms, not so much. Like, I do listen to a bunch of different things, but I do zone in a lot. So once I like something, I go head on to that and I stick to that for a long time, and then I move to something, not a long time, but for a couple of weeks or a couple of months I'll stick on the same thing for a bit, and then I'll jump on the next one, and then I'll jump on the next one. But yeah, but I don't stray too crazy far unless I have to do like a studio session or something. I find it great for warming up coordination. Oh yeah. I try to learn a bit of every genre, so humbling. Trying to learn track and style finger. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like a lot of finger style stuff is just crazy, crazy. It's wicked hard. It's just it's such a different technique. I have learned a lot of things by trying to figure out those songs from your album. Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot to learn from everything. I have to head off to sleep, but I just want to say things that more inspiring to place. Hearing other musicians speak as much enthusiasm and imagination as you do. Appreciate it. Thanks a ton, man. I'm glad that it helps. I'm glad that it helps. And I think that's what the community is actually about. It's about pushing each other to move and grow. It's crazy, like sometimes you think you gotta learn from certain people, but you learn from everybody. Like I learn from my students every single week. I learn new things from my students every single week, be it because they think in a completely different way than you do, because we're different people, be it because they come from different backgrounds, be it because they've listened to such and such music that you haven't listened to, and yeah, the same thing happens with everybody. Like you can learn from any style of music and from any specific zone or whatever, or from any person. Like yeah, as long as you keep your antennas open, you can grab stuff from just about everybody. And it's the same thing. Like that's why I like to share. Like I like to share information. Like I'm not the biggest like secrets. Oh, these are my musical secrets, and I don't share these. Like quite the opposite. That's why I have a YouTube channel. I keep talking about. I like pretty much if you wanted to copy what I do, the formula is probably out there on YouTube at this point. You could just grab all like specific videos and kind of figure out what I do. So yeah, I think that's the whole reason for the whole guitar thing. Is just to share things with different people, not trying to collect secrets. Anyways, like at the end result of things, like to be honest, if you're making music and you're posting it out there and you're sharing it with the world, there's really no secret because you're putting the stuff out there. Anyone can transcribe your music and figure out your quote unquote secrets. So it's yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a thing to how you think about things. So that might be a sort of secret that you could hide, but the actual playing information is out there. Oh no, the allergies are kind of going back. Completely agree. Even if a total beginner can surprise me sometimes with a sound I have forgotten. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And the approach, even the approach, because it comes from a completely different mindset. So it's always cool. It's always cool. Just digging into other ways of thinking. I've bought all your lessons but it still doesn't. You play like you. There's no shame in copying. Well, I mean, to play like I do a lesson about how to do what I do, but it's I don't know if anyone's interested. No, like I don't think it would be like a lesson that would move too much. But it's like it's mostly like street picking, legato, and hybrid, a little bit of hybrid picking and economy picking. And there's like 10 moves. Freaking allergies. Like, and if you check out any of my like auto lessons, I kind of share pretty much all my moves on my legato lessons. Like there's the thirds thing, there's the like Paul Gilbert-y type of thing, there's the going down thing. Like there's, I know I have a legato hybrid picking moves lesson that I think it includes the tab actually, and pretty much all my legato moves are on there. Same thing with the sweeping. Yeah, like if you do any of the arpeggio roadmaps videos, that's the secret behind my sweeping. Whenever I think of trying to write a song, I give up and think it sucks. Don't do that. Don't do that. The whole trick to putting music out there is not. It's literally not doing that. Um, I think it happens to everybody. I think we all think our music sucks. The trick is trying to mute that voice and just be honest. Like, don't think too much. Like, don't care. I think care is probably the word. Like, don't care so much about what you might think that other people might think, because it's not so much what they actually think. It's more about what you think other people might think. So try to mute that voice and just go for the stuff that you actually like. Like, for example, going back to the Google Dolls and Frey types of bands. Like, I incorporate a lot of that stuff to what I do. And yeah, like, as soon as the quicker you can accept that you like that stuff, the quicker you can start putting stuff out there. It's like, if you like what you're doing, then that's all you need. Play a very Juan sounding lick. Okay, so let me see. There's a couple things that I tend to think are sort of like me sounding. There's this thing that started out as a Tom Quayle thing, actually. And then I just started doing it more and more often each and every single time. So it's weird because a very Juan sounding lick, it's actually a mix of like the Tom Quayle thing. That thing from Tom Quayle. I just apply it in a way that makes sense to me. I don't know how he thinks about it. And this and this Frankenbali arpeggio. So I kind of go up. That's a full blown. That's something I do all the time. But in generally doing that, that's sort of turning into a Juan thing. And the arpeggios in general, these. That's sort of like the most Juanish sounding thing I can think of. I never know how to start key, mode, etc. Yeah, don't even think about, like, don't even worry about the theory behind it. Focus more on the actual sounds. Like, again, if it sounds good to you, if something sounds trippy, do whatever sounds good to you. Let's see. Bowie had a trick for writing lyrics. He would write down lots of words he found interesting on little pieces of paper and jumble them up and try to create verses and ideas from them. That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. With me, I record anything that I think sounds cool. I'll record on my phone. Let me see. What's the latest thing I did? I tend to do a lot of videos. Wait. Embarrassing as all hell, but it all being for the occasional. So that's pretty much a video of me playing chords and singing a melody with my horrible singing voice. So, and that's it. It's very straightforward chords, nothing too nuts. It's like a A minor, D minor, F, B flat 7, and super straightforward chord progression except for the B flat 7. Yeah, and it's very simple melody. I don't. Let me see if I can hear it. Yeah, I'm not singing anything there. Oh my god, look at that face. Can't really tell. It's gotta be like 2 something in the morning. Like a crazy person. We're all mixes of our influences. When I think of your playing, it brings my very clean, long, glassy arpeggios. And when I think of it, I think of a atmospheric sync in the background. Also, I meant like out of it with punctuated with arpeggios. Yeah, like my thing. And now with writing stuff, with writing music, I tend to think like in terms of the orchestration. My thing is, I love strings. I love acoustic piano. Obviously, guitar stuff. I'm getting more and more into synths. What's the other thing? Glockenspiel. That's my favorite thing. It's those little bells. Bing, 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 bing. That's definitely another thing. And yeah, that kind of that's a whole different section because I kind of think of the playing and the normal everyday playing and soloing and improvising thing completely different to the actual writing thing. That's a completely different topic. Actually, it might be cool to do a live where I'm working on Logic or something just to show you guys how I go about setting up the sessions and all that crazy stuff. But anyways, I'm running. It's been 2 hours and 17 minutes already. So I'm just about ready to bail. I gotta set up some of tomorrow's posts as well, at least the YouTube ones, because I don't have them automatized, whatever. I can't think of the word. Automated. I don't have them automated. So yeah, I gotta get to doing that today. So yeah, if you have one more question, that's the last one I'll do for today. So one more question and I'm out. Let's see if you guys are on there. Here we go. Kitty just got here. Can you hear her? Yeah. Okay, let's see. I'd love to see someone do a really in-depth lesson on Richie Kotzen's legato style as he plays it today. Not only how he constructs those long extending runs, but also his thumb technique. I haven't looked at Richie's playing in a bit, so I have to. Yeah, it might be interesting to check it out. I really haven't studied his stuff in a long bit. But yeah, it'd be interesting. Let me take a screenshot of that just to keep it as an idea. Great album, congrats. I hope it does well. Thanks a ton, man. Not long enough. Take care, my dude. Take care, man. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for your time. I'll come back to check out the album and hit it on iTunes. Thanks a ton, Edward, and thanks for joining me. There we go. That's the sign. Kitty starts jumping in front of the camera. That's the sign. Oh, Kitty, you want to say something? Kitty. There we go. There we go. All right, so I'm going to head out. Have a good rest of the day, night, whatever it is, at your spot. Thanks, everybody, for joining me today. Thank you, Brent. Thanks, Evan, Edward, everyone else out there, Kevin, Bas, anyone that's on here right now. And yeah, hope you guys like the album. It should be up really, really soon. I think it's a couple hours. I think it automatically goes up at 12. I'm not 100% sure on that. So if it is, I'll let you guys know. If it is, you'll find it, I guess. Anyways, I'm done. Okay, see you guys later. Take care and thanks for watching. Yes, Kitty is the natural, definitely. Bye guys, take care.